Oh my god. Oh, please save me. Am I live? Am I chilling? Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Am I live? Am I chilling? Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I don't feel like doing face cam. Okay. Uh, okay. I do wanna.
Let's begin installing Flutter for your systems. Here we have
I do wanna try setting up. Setting up. Android Studio for my. Sorry, gotta pop the perky. It's a rough day, dude. It's been a rough morning and early afternoon, but you know, it's time to lock in, baby. I'm to lock the fuck in. Oh god. Hopefully I don't get banned for like restreaming this course. I was kind of scared yesterday. I was like, wait, maybe I shouldn't live stream, but whatever. Fuck it, we ball. Um, okay. So I already have Flutter installed, I believe. Whoa. What do I even like? I had it installed somewhere here. Hold up. I did not mean to do this. Okay. Yeah, I think I know where it is. Oh man. Yeah. Does it even matter? I don't even know. Get the chat back. Alright. So it's something with the SDK manager, that's for sure. Because I want to actually try running this on.
path and slash .zshrc. And this will open this one window where right now there is no path, but we will be adding this entire line here and replacing it with the correct path. So here we have the export keyword and then the path, which equals to here $path colon, and now you're going to have the path value here. So this will be the path that you have where you have the Flutter stored. So this could be something like home slash, in our case, it's for development, and then Flutter slash bin. Now that we have added the path, let's just save this here and close this. And now we must do source slash home here.
Okay, wait, hold on. Do nano ush. Okay, so it's in code flutter bin app. Okay, very cool, very nice.
Here the name of the ZSHRC on the basis of Android Studio. So I can show you how we are downloading Android Studio if you need any help with. Choose which Mac you have, the Intel chip or the Apple chip, and this will start API 32. So here, Android Studio here, it will prompt you that this is downloaded from the internet. So this can download SDK location right here, and the download size is around 527 MB. So let's press next, and these are the components that needs to be downloaded along with Android Studio for your Android Studio 2, the BCS. Button right here. Let's click on that. The project right here instead of just new project.
Do we have the? Okay, so we have. I think we have all the SDK tools because we needed. Yeah, we needed command line. So I think if Flutter Doctor works. Let's get the Flutter. Yeah, let's get this too. Everybody in the universe. Nope.
New project. So if you click on this
Why are we using Java here? Why are we using Java? Hey, yo.
this will open the window, and here you will be having a lot of options. You make sure that you are on this Flutter one, and this will be the SDK path. So this probably could be any of your SDK paths. Path. So in this case, whatever is your path that you have created Flutter in, and
New Flutter project.
now you just press next, and this will be the name of the project. Here you decide the Android language should be Java or Kotlin, with iOS language Objective-C or Swift, and here you mention which platform it should cater for. So now we can just press finish. Finish. And this will finally create your first Flutter project. Make sure that you go into the pubspec.yaml here, and this Android should just become project here. This pubspec.yaml.
Oh, what the hell?
Make sure you click on this Flutter pub-get after the project has been loaded here. This will ask you something like, trust created project. Yes, you trust this project, of course. And let's click on pub-get. You can do the same here in the terminal window as well by writing flutter pub-get. And after this, you can install your favorite emulators or connect it with your Android phone or your iOS phone, or you can also run on Chrome or the macOS desktop. Let's begin installing Flutter for your systems. So here we have the operating systems on which you can install Flutter. We have Windows, macOS, Linux, Chrome OS. Currently, we are on a Windows, so let's try the Windows tab here. So let's
Okay.
after this, you can install your favorite this subspector YAML.
Floating over the raging sea. How deep is the ocean? How deep is the ocean? I lost my way. Hey, hey, hey.
Now cork in the ocean, floating over the raging sea. How deep is the ocean? How deep is the ocean? I lost my way. Broken the landslide, rolling over the mountainside. How deep is the valley? How deep is the valley? My soul.
Pretty soon I'll be blown away. How long will the
Bro, what?
YAML, make sure you click on this Flutter Puppet after the project has been loaded.
YAML.
Loaded here. This will ask you something like trust created project. Yes, you trust this project, of course. And let's click on Puppet. You can do the same here in the terminal window as well by writing Flutter Puppet. And after this, you can install your favorite emulators or connect it with your Android phone or your iOS phone, or you can also run on Chrome or the macOS desktop.
Oh, what? And why do I have to do it? Fuck. File. File. Close project. Delete the idea folder. File opened. Open project structure. Project structure. Oh wow. Yeah. God damn.
Just as you take my hand, just as you write my number down, just as the drinks arrive, just as they play your favorite song, as your back disappears. No one to wind up like a spring before you had to
My arms are killing me, dude.
come back and focus again. The walls have been in shape. They got a Cheshire cat grin, all blurring into one. This place is on a mission before the night out. Before the animal noises closer get cameras. Before you come what's up. Before you run away from me, before you're lost between the notes, the beat goes round and round. The beat goes round and round. It got me. I just pretended that I.
Okay, we're working. We're working. God, I hate the UI of 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 JetBrains stuff. It's so horseshit. It's so bad. Whatever, quit your banshee. When does this work even? We have the My app, which is a stateless widget. Can we do this, by the way? Oh. Can't. Fuck. What even is the purpose of...
This desktop. Let's begin installing Flutter. Once you have your Flutter plugin set up in your Android Studio or your preferred IDE, we can go ahead and create a new Flutter project. I will create one from the terminal itself and write the command flutter create and the name of the project. So in this case, this could be chat up. This will automatically make this project compatible with Android, iOS, web, and after the latest version on stable, it now has Windows desktop support available by default.
Okay, let's do Pomodoro too. Pomodoro, baby, an hour. Yes, sir.
So now let's open this chat app in our Android Studio. So as you can see here, we have the Android support, iOS support, web.
Okay. Android Studio. Open this bad boy up. A code, Flutter project, app.
web, and Windows. Since I'm currently on Mac, I would also want to have the Mac OS support, but I'll tell you how to get that in this current version later. Let's just first run this Hello World project on the default platforms, which are Android, iOS, web. Since I do not have Windows right now, then I cannot run it on Windows currently, but you can try it out if you are currently on a Windows platform. By default, the Hello World
Yeah, let's try running this. Project files. So there should be a. Not. It's a. Counter project.
preferred IDE, we can go ahead and create a new Flutter project. I will create one from the terminal itself and write the command flutter, create, and the name of the project. So in this case, this could be chat art Android Studio later. Let's just first run this Hello World project on the default platform. It's the configuration drop-down button in my Windows platform, and show you the Hello World app right here beside the device selection for some reason. Or so here I'm going to be choosing the Android SDK. Let's wait for some time. So let's wait for the same counter app running on Mac. I will want to enable the Mac OS platform for my project. So to enable this, I will have to write something like flutter config, and this is only for Mac OS or Linux users. Since Windows users, the desktop support is already enabled for you. So flutter config dash dash enable, and then the name of the OS. So in this case, it will be Mac OS and dash desktop. So now I'm enabling. Okay, I missed one T in Flutter. So now I'm enabling the macOS desktop support to true for my project. So at this point, I will be able to create a macOS
Damn,
folder
I
for
did
this
not
data
have
project.
to do
But
that.
currently, you obviously do not see the macOS folder. To make it appear, we will have to do flutter create dot, and now it will create all other remaining folders or files that was left out, which in this case is the macOS one. So let's wait for it to create the macOS files and folders, and you will be able to see that folder right here. It's right here, macOS, where you have all the files related to your macOS. So now to run this, let's try it, flutter run -d macOS. And this will get your project up and running for your desktop OS, whatever OS that you are using. And there you go. It is now running on my desktop app for my Mac. So it will also be running for your Windows or Linux platform as well. And do you see the beauty of developing apps with Flutter, which is one code base? We were able to build apps for multiple devices and platforms. Isn't that super interesting? Before we
Oh
write our
my
first code in Flutter,
god.
let's spend some time understanding the default project that we have in front of us. And no, I don't mean the code yet. We will get there soon. But let's talk about these various folders and files that got created each time you create a new project.
My Mac is literally screaming right now. 100% super. Hey, it's a workhorse. What can I say? Honestly, cooling is not bad either. Like it's good.
This is where your entry point of your application lies for now. But the main.dart won't be the only file, of course. Whatever code you write or new Dart files that you would create would all go inside the lib folder. Like you right click on it and you can create a new Dart file. You name it something like another screen.dart or something like that. And this will all go inside the lib folder. That is where all your Dart files will reside. So basically all your Dart and Flutter logic goes into this. We will go into more details on the code inside main.dart, but first let's talk about another important file in this directory, which is the pubspec.yaml file. In a way, you could call it your specs file, which holds the different metadata, external libraries used in your Flutter project, and mentions the various external assets being used, etc. We will go into more details in a later chapter of this course, which will focus completely on pubspec.yaml. We'll also discuss the pubspec.log file along with it. So let's not worry about it yet. Moving on, when you create a new Flutter project, the platform folders are also automatically created for you, as we discussed earlier. Like you have the Android folder, the iOS, the web, macOS, Windows, etc.
That's cool.
If you are familiar with the Android project structure, you may notice that the Android folder
That probably makes the file sizes gargantuan, huh? Let's see. Oh, yep. Just oh my god.
inside the Flutter project follows the exact same structure. It basically acts like a separate Android app in itself. In fact, if you go into main activity.kt, this will be inside here. If you open this, Android Studio gives you an option to open this file for editing in Android Studio again. So if you open this in a new window, then you can see that this is basically acting like a separate Android project. If you're coming from the Android development world, this way of looking at your project might be very familiar to you. So you can make some changes here, try it out, run it, and then the same changes will be reflected back at your Flutter project. Similarly, if you're coming from native iOS development, then in the same way, you will feel familiar with the iOS structure as well. And similarly, web structure will also be pretty familiar to you. Now, usually you would need to touch these folders in very few cases, like if you have to make some Android-related update in Gradle files or add some permissions in manifest file. However, most of your work during your beginner days will be around Dart itself. So it will be inside the lib folder. And finally, we have the test folder, which will contain most of your unit, widget, and integration tests. By default, every new project will come with this one test as an example. So those are all the things that you needed to know before we move on to the code for the default counter app. Time to talk about the code inside main.dart. Now, let's keep the expectations very low. The expectation that you will understand everything in this code from day one. It is completely okay that you do not understand most of it because the counter app is not a usual hello world app with just a print statement. There are concepts here that are beyond the scope of the first lesson. So let's just take a very small step and try to understand what exactly is happening in this code. You obviously understand the output here. You have a count value that increments each time the plus button or the floating action button is tapped. And the increment value is reflected on the screen. So let's check the code. The first thing that you might see are the import. So here you're importing the Flutter material.dart. Here the material package from the Flutter SDK has been imported. It is nothing but a library that helps you import classes or components related to material design. If you want to refresh on material design, you can check out material.io. But the next thing that we see is the void main. And as discussed in our Dart videos, void main is the entry point of our application. Well, by default, all Flutter applications are supposed to run the run app function inside their void main. And it is supposed to be provided with the root widget for your application. Or in other words, it's kind of like a launcher screen or the screen that your app should launch with. In this case, this is my app class. If you're curious, we can check the documentation of the run app function as well. So let's just go to the documentation. Here in Android Studio with Mac, I am pressing Command plus P, and this brings up the documentation for the run app method. So here if you see, it says that it inflates the given widget and attaches it to the screen. And there are a bunch of information about it. Definitely go through it and read about it. And if you see the method body, it basically, if you see this line, it kind of schedules attach root widget. So it basically attaches to the root widget here. In this case, we have the my app widget, and it just warms up the frame for your application startup. Now this run app method wants a widget according to the doc. You see the schedule attached root widget, it needs a widget. So here we are providing it my app widget. So let's check out what is my app in this case. It is a simple class, but it extends stateless widget, which is one of two types of widgets that we need to know. The other is the stateful class. So in this case, in line number 32, you see this class that extends stateful widget. But what is this widget even? Well, if you go into the documentation of both stateless and stateful, if you see they are basically an abstract class that extends widget. Let me check the same for stateless as well. Also an abstract class that extends widget. Now, if you check out widgets documentation, well, it's also another simple class. So basically, stateless and stateful widgets are two special classes, otherwise called just widgets. Now, going back to your code, the next important thing to note is the build method, which is supposed to be overridden for all your widget classes. This is the method that draws the UI for your widget or decides what you see on the screen. In this build method, it returns a material app that eventually builds the My Home Page widget, if you can see in line number 27. Let me just increase the font size a bit so that you can see this better. So you have the My Home Page in line number 27, and this is what you see on the screen right here on the emulator. Now, widgets
Right.
widgets are always organized in a tree data structure. Let's talk about trees more with a visual representation. Imagine we have an object A like this one. We can call them nodes as well. So node A can point to another node B and C. And further, B can point to more nodes such as D, E, and F.
Oh no,
And
this is
widgets
giving
are
me
organized in the same structure
PTSD.
in Flutter. Now, isn't it familiar to a family tree? So if B is the parent, then D, E, F are the children. And if A is the parent, then C is the only child. The node without any parent is called the root node like A, and the node without any children are called leaf nodes like C, D, and E, and F. Now, let's visualize the counter app in a tree structure and show you the visual structure for better understanding. And by the way, you can compare this with the code that you have in your screen. So first comes my app, and its child would be material app. Then comes my homepage, scaffold. Now, scaffold has three children, app bar, center, and fab, which is floating action button. And center has another child called column. And column will finally have two leaf widgets or two leaf children, which is text and text. Let me show you the same from the code, just so you're very clear. Here we have the first root widget, which is my app. That is the root node or the root widget, because it has no parent. And then comes the rest of the structure. Look at it very clear. Bar, center, and fab, which is floating action button. And center has another child called column. And column will finally have two leaf widgets or two leaf children, which is text and text. Let me show you the same from the code, just so you're very clear. Here we have the first root widget, which is my app. That is the root node or the root widget, because it has no parent. And then comes the rest of the structure. look at the column widget here. It basically has a text and a text child. Understand this very carefully because I am going to be giving you a challenge to work on, which is based on this concept. Coming back, do you see this build context parameter inside the build method? This is a super important concept in Flutter, but in simpler words, build context is just a reference to the location of the given widget in the widget tree. Each build context is unique to the widget, so the build context of my app is not the same as the build context of my homepage. Next, I will run through the specific snippets of code that made the entire transactions of tapping, incrementing, and displaying count possible. But it is highly possible that you may not understand it completely yet because of the new syntax, and since we haven't even written a single line of Flutter code yet. But let me try to break it down for you. But before I start explaining you all of it, let me just clean up this a bit and remove all the comments that we have here, so that is easier for you to understand what I'm talking about. So I'll just remove this and this as well. Do read what is there in the comments because it is a very good explanation what they have. But again, it is completely okay if you do not understand everything at first. So removing this and this as well.
Okay, let's see. So first off, we have my app. This widget is the root of your applications. This is the theme of your applications. Very nice. Blue always. You know what? Okay, let's go edgy. Let's go. That is not red. Black. What? Okay. Yeah, so this is the root. We have our homepage, which we can probably name it as anything. This is the home page. Yep. And then homepage. So here we have our forgot what this is called. This is a positioning. Yeah, positional parameters in Flutter. Right. Yeah, positional name parameters. So I'm not sure what this is. Oh, we have a key and a value. Why do we have a key and a value? We have a title which is required. Oh, okay. This is our key. This is our key, title, and this is our value, which is this is the homepage, and this is required. Wait, no. Why are we doing a key value? If we make this required, now we have an issue. What is on my internet? Yo, my Wi-Fi is cooked, bro. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we've stabilized the reactor core.